Do you remember when I like cheese, and I used to have the cheese wrappers
I find them all around the house where you sneak in there. Don't go in that refrigerator and get cheese.
Well,
okay. But then I find it later on somewhere.
I'm saying, was I sneaking because I wasn't supposed to have it, or was I sneaking because it was cheese?
Pretty much because you wasn't supposed to have it at that age.
With her father dying, I feel like it gave her more determination to have this surgery, because one thing that Mr. Carl have always said, I want you to be happy, and I want you to live, and I want you to be healthy. So I think with the death of her father, it kind of made her like, I want to live. And then the type of cancer that her father had, it was just like, I just want to live.
Another thing that I think is important, I feel like this really comes to play with your mental state and your mental preparation. You have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to be compliant. So often we want to point our fingers at everyone, and I felt like that as a child. I felt because I have been overweight all my entire life.
When I started seeing that she was doing things that I thought she wouldn't do, I said, oh, she gonna be all right. She gonna be all right. She gonna have this surgery. She gonna do what she needs to do, and she gonna go hard. She's gonna go hard. That's what I thought.
You definitely have to be mentally stable to go through this process. It's extremely important that you are mentally prepared because it's difficult. It's not easy by any means. It's going to be a challenge. It's also important that you have a strong support system because that makes it even all the more easier. If I didn't have a support system like I do, it probably would be that much harder because it's hard doing it by yourself. But at the end of the day, if you're not mentally prepared for this surgery, it's going to be a recipe for failure. Because at the end of the day, any bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery, whether it's mine or another one that you choose, is only a tool. It is a prescription for healthier living, and that's exactly what it is. It's not a magic trick or a quick fix. You will fail if you are not mentally prepared to change your life.
So Nasia was given all of these guidelines. Okay, you got to quit smoking. You got to quit eating solid foods. You got to lose all this weight. You got to do this. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you got to do all this to get a surgery? I understand why, because it's like a lifestyle change. They want to make sure that you use this weight loss tool, because it's a tool. This is not like you going to get lipo and they just cutting your stomach out and you coming back, you snatch. No, this is a tool to help you keep the weight off of you, to help you live a more healthier life. So they want to make sure that you can do what you have to do, and they want to make sure that you're successful at it, because if they give everybody a surgery who just big and want to lose weight, but if you haven't changed your eating habits, you're going to go right back into those eating habits, and you're going to gain the weight back. And that's just going to be a waste of time, because you're going to be right back where you started.
What I am on now is an all liquid diet. And it is exactly what it said. I started this last Thursday. This is what I can have. I can have broth, low sodium. I can have low calorie drinks such as Powerade, that's low, 0 calorie, light in calorie, like Crystal Light flavors, for the water. It needs to be 0 to low calories. I can't have any caffeine, no teas, no sweet tea, anything like that. I definitely can't have no carbonated drinks. and that's it. I'm supposed to have about 3 or 4 protein shakes a day that have to be 11 ounces, low carbs and low calorie, but high in protein. The protein keeps you fuller longer, so that's what I've been on. And it has been a hot mess. This has definitely been a challenge. I will say the first couple of days have absolutely been the worst. I've had terrible headaches, nausea, feeling faint and dizzy, no energy. Before your surgery, they want to decrease your liver size. So all these unhealthy foods that we eat causes a fatty liver. Some people are just born with fatty livers regardless of how they eat, but the liver shrinks rather quickly when you eat things that are more healthier for you, or like what I have is all liquid. So that's a safety issue. Once they do the surgery, they take a liver retractor and it basically holds back the liver, and so the surgeons can get to the stomach because your stomach is right behind the liver. If your liver is enlarged, it's very hard to maneuver, which causes sometimes the surgeons to perform a open surgery, which you don't want that. It causes it can cause a lot of damage, and you don't heal as quickly as you would with a laparoscopic surgery.
Baby, last season ain't got nothing on season 2. Let's go.
Let's not respect people's time too. Let's talk about respect. Talk about respect.
Look, Devontae all out there with his titty out.
With a titty out.
No, he can have his titty out.
Look like Trey. I bet you have because you're fake.
Hey Mark, this is Trey calling.
Go ahead and leave.
You leaving?
Yeah.
The concert just was kind of like all over the place. I don't know if you're trying to use Black Lives Matter as a platform to get your music out there. I'm the type of person, if you say it, you need to say it to their face.
Nobody has any personal vendetta. I was just saying there was no excuse for that situation that occurred.
I do not want to lose our friendship over no BS. For real.
Are you serious? Like, I really ain't even got time for this. Nor is it that big of a deal. Because again, baby, if you broke, just say that.
I've had to cut back on some things that some people may think is stupid. I didn't necessarily have a problem with some foods, but there's so many things you can't do. Like I can't drink out of a straw. That's a habit that I've had for a long time. Now I'm having bariatric surgery and they're telling me don't drink out of a straw because it's going to cause terrible gas. They compare this process, the change after the surgery, a lot to babies, infants. Sometimes you have to pat your chest just like a baby would. You have to pat them, pat them to burp. Sucking the air like babies in bottles is similar to the straws. So that has really been my biggest challenge. So with your research, that's kind of how you avoid all that thing. But that's really, it may sound, amateur, but that's the only thing that I'm really, scared about.
Before Nasia have this surgery, I want her to understand the changes of this surgery. This is not something that you can cut on and off. You can't, I'm gonna have the surgery and look small, okay, but I don't like it. So I want to go back to be big Nasia because I'm more comfortable being a big girl. Because when I tell you Nasia was a jazzy girl, I like big Nasia. I ain't even gonna lie. Nasia come in, she have a little earrings on, have a little cute little shirt on, hair be wrapped up. Come on, she walked in the room, she owned it. She was like, I'm here, I'm present, like I'm here. So, I just wanted her to really think about not necessarily the look of how she looks, but her mental stage. Because when you go from being a person who you were all your life to being somebody totally different, or changing something about you that makes you totally different, it takes some adjustments. You gotta get used to looking in the mirror and looking at this person. Because I look at it as I can compare this to me getting glasses or me getting braces. So with that, when you're in that, when you get in glasses or braces, cool. You get braces, you get your glasses or whatever. You have to get used to wearing glasses. You have to get used to wearing braces. But the only difference is, braces gonna come off. Glasses, you can take them off and put contacts in. When you lose that amount of weight, you don't know how you're gonna look outside of your clothes. Yes, you look good on your clothes. So when you get in the shower and you look in the mirror, are you gonna be okay with the way you look? That's what I wanted Nasia to understand. Like, I know you want the surgery, but are you ready for this change that's about to happen?
Hey, I am on my way to the beginning of a new life. Yes. I know they've starved me to death, but that's okay. I'm not that hungry. I'm ready. I've been anxious. I couldn't sleep last night. I didn't go to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's almost like, like a kid on Christmas. You don't want to go to sleep. I'm excited for my surgery. I'm not necessarily scared. I'm more excited than I am anything. I'm ready for this to come and go. Because I have a lot going on at one time. It's a lot. The only thing I'm scared about, which is something that it may not even affect me, I have a low pain tolerance. So I'm a little worried about the pain. I've had surgery before in a similar area, and it wasn't very difficult. So I'm just hoping and praying that this one is fine and I have a smooth surgery and I can tolerate the pain. You have to eliminate all distractions. Something that was extremely difficult for me and caused a great deal of anxiety was social media. Social media was great for me in the beginning of my journey. I was connected with a lot of people. You'll create these surgery day buddies, people that had their surgery on the same day as you, and y'all hold each other accountable, and you see all these people and their progress, and then boom, like there goes the pressure, and there goes, because I already put myself in a position that I already put a lot of pressure on in the first place. I mean, I'm a perfectionist. I put a lot of pressure on myself anyway. Then I feel like, even though, my family don't put pressure on me, but I know what's expected of me all across the board. There may have been a time when I hit a stall, or, I didn't hit my goal weight in the amount of time that I wanted to. I was a week late, or, it took me 3 additional weeks to get to that point. And so with that social media, I mean, it was a distraction for me, and it put a lot of pressure and anxiety and stress in addition to what I already had put on myself. So for me, it was everything. It was everything. I mean, I got down in the dirt with this process and this journey, and I didn't do a lot of things. I didn't go a lot of places. I didn't, it was me. I spent this time with myself so that I could get myself together inside and outside, and I didn't need any distractions. So I didn't have time for me to go on Facebook and see my surgery buddies, or 3 of my surgery buddies, that are progressing 3 months more than me. Not to say that I'm not happy for them, because I am. You can't just do the work on the outside. You have to do the work everywhere, like from the inside out. So that is serious. That is true. And a lot of people don't talk about how hard it is. They don't talk about the tough part. They don't talk about those days that you cry yourself to sleep because you're so obsessed with losing all this weight or hitting a mark by a certain amount of time. You know, nobody talks about that. They may talk about the stalls and things of that nature, but nobody talks about the depression, the anxiety, those things. Because don't get me wrong, it does get better, but it's also a daily journey, inside and out. That is real.
Mike Rouse! How are you?
Well. Clearly you're doing good.
Oh my goodness, it's been a long time.
Yes, you look amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How have you been?
I've been great, but do you feel amazing?
Oh, I do. I really do. Do you remember the last time?
I do.
Completely different.
You've come a long way.
I have.
Like, you look amazing.
I know, I'm so excited.
You should be.
I'm really excited. Well, come on. Thank you so much. I've got some water and stuff. Let's sit outside. It's so pretty today. Beautiful day today.
It is. So, how do you feel?
Oh, Mike Rouse. It's been kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of tough, but I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was. So.
But you're definitely
where
you need to be.
Well, I know. I know.
Your energy is lighter.
You can tell.
Of course, you're smiling.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That says something. That says a huge amount of something.
I mean, I do feel better though. I can honestly say that. I feel better. It's tough though. Daily. It's a journey.
You still look amazing.
Thank you.
Just that word glam that you used last time.
How have you been?
I've been well. I'm just still speechless.
Well, you look awesome as well.
We look good
I like
together.
your hair. Yeah, you look awesome.
Whoa. It's been a year and a half. When I tell you my friend look good, I don't even want to lose no more weight. I know she's still a little, she want to lose more weight, but I don't want to lose no more weight. I told her, don't lose no more weight because you look good. Like, you look good. You good where you at. You did what you got to do. Just maintain this. Maybe tone up a little bit. Because right now, you're at a, I think she was probably like at a 14, 16, something like that. I'm still comfortable with 14, 16, Asia.
How do you identify with this?
It's different.
When was the first time you saw, a different face or?
I would have to say it was probably my birthday. And that was the first time I really went out. And so people didn't hardly recognize me. And I'm like, oh, hey. And they're like, and I'm like, did they not know who? I mean, I didn't realize that I looked so different. I still look the same. I have the same features, but it's a little drastic. So, I mean, I went from a size 28, 30 to, a 18, 16.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I've never, and really the 16s, I mean, a top from a 3X to, I mean, a large, extra large.
Do you see it yet? Do you see, not so much the weight loss, but do you see your new body? Because I've bulked up muscle-wise before and gotten smaller and this and that. Mm-hmm. Even when I bulked up, sometimes I didn't see the bulking.
Yeah.
I still saw the old. It's kind of weird because you would see something, but your mind was telling you it's not true.
Well, definitely.
Or vice versa.
Yes, I would definitely have to say that I kind of have a fat person's mind still. I mean, my mind, even though my body is transforming, my mind as far as my appearance is still kind of the same because I still kind of shop in the, and I'm like, I can't wear that. That's too big.
Audio rolling. Action.
So I have lost a total of around 130 something pounds since the day of surgery, and I have not yet met my weight loss goal. I want to lose about 70 more pounds, and then my weight loss journey will be complete. In my class reunion,
That came up, and that was an amazing experience.
Was that before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was. That was about. That was just a couple of months ago. So I probably was about, probably about a year out then.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you had prepared, evolved emotionally.
Yes. Yeah. And it was weird, but I had some good reactions. From my old classmates, and I still do today. People are just like, you look awesome. I'm like, thank you, but I still have about 70 more pounds I'd like to lose. I am definitely happy about where I am in my weight loss journey. Well, I say that, but I'm kind of disappointed. I wish I was, weighed a little less, but I am proud of where I am because I'm not where I was, and I have definitely made a lot of progression.
What was your first day home like? How did?
It was horrible.
Horrible.
It was horrible, Mike Rouse. I was so. No one told me about the day after surgery, the first day home. Mike Ross, I was starving.
You can't eat.
Yes, I was starving. It took me about a month and a half before I was on soft foods, and that was soft, like pureed foods. It was horrible. I was starving. And so when I called the doctor the very next day after surgery, and I'm like, I thought y'all said I wasn't gonna be hungry. and they said, well, the swelling from the surgery, your stomach is still large. And so, you're still kind of hungry, kind of like the same way before. It wasn't until probably about day 3 that I was just like, I couldn't drink anything. I felt so horribly sick, like it was awful. I didn't want to think about food on day 3. And so from there, it was just kind of, when I say I could only drink maybe 5 tablespoons of liquid. So I was on a liquid diet. I was still on all liquids for about 6 weeks after.
Pedialyte.
I drank, I had to have protein. Protein is a major importance in this whole process, but protein shakes, water, and more water. I have to take plenty of vitamins still, and the vitamins help compensate for the lack of nutrition because I cannot eat as much. I still cannot finish a full course meal at all. I probably can have about 3 or 4 bites of something and I'm full, I'm done. I can't even eat a whole half of a sandwich, so I can only eat parts of a half.
Have you taken a moment to feel satisfied? Or have you had an opportunity to have a moment to just sit and be satisfied with your sacrifice, risk? Because that usually blows all that out. Just taking a moment to just go, I survived 3 days of not eating. One. And I am I have a level of satisfaction. Have you done that yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And it's funny that you asked me that because I don't think I've had the time to really sit back and say, oh, wow, you have come a long way. Like, you should be proud of yourself. But I guess because...
satisfaction is an achievement. It's like...
Yeah, and it really is. And I guess I do have a lot to be proud of and grateful for. So I guess I never really thought about it. I just kind of keep going, but I'm glad that you mentioned that, Mike Rouse, because, I guess that's very important because, prior, with our discussions, I think not taking a moment to really sit back and realize where I'm at and where I'm going, I think sometimes you kind of get lost in the shuffle, and that's kind of how it went as far as my weight gain. So I need to, take into consideration that I need to take those moments so that I don't get back to that place, because, that is somewhere that I do not want to, I don't want to go back to.
I've had to learn that with many things.
Yeah.
Just not always having to chase an unending satisfaction.
Right.
But to be, just to give yourself to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal
Mm-hmm.
in the South, especially if you're on a journey.
Right.
That's public and can be measured by numbers. I was reading something recently where they had, they talked about identifying your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Identifying your mind with your body, our body identification, and how it spoke of people have some beautiful bodies, muscular bodies. They have, all these accolades that society tells them that this is the way it's supposed to be. But inside, they still have to either attach or detach from that. The whole nother spectrum. Someone can be sick or ill, and they still can identify with that almost just as strong, because you have doctors checking on you, you have people checking on you, and you're still holding on really tight to that, but your inside living energy, you have to be aware of, because the person who has the muscular body or beautiful body or whatever, that can all fade. The person who's ill can get well, and then they're normal. They're not special anymore, and no one's checking up on them anymore, and all of that. So did you experience any of like that, since I would assume have the medications gone down?
Gosh, I'm so glad that you asked that question, because that was like a reality check in itself, because, as we talked before, I was on so many medications, and probably I'm on the same medicines, like the same amount of medicine. So I take probably about eight pills. So I was under the impression, because my doctor stated that, things will get better. Once you lose this weight, get this weight off. So in a sense, yes, no more high blood pressure, no more high cholesterol or anything, any of that that's related to food or, eating habits, but the seizure medications are all the same. And so when I seen my neurologist, I had a whole meltdown, because I didn't understand why we couldn't change the medications, because here I am, 137 pounds lighter, 137 pounds. That's a person. 137 pounds lighter, and I'm still on the same seizure medicine. So I was just like, well, why can't we change anything? So apparently...
Is it just as potent?
Yes. So apparently neurological medicines aren't based necessarily off of height and weight, things of that nature. It's basically goes off of a threshold. So say, for example, I hadn't had a seizure in 6 weeks or so, and then all of a sudden have one. So they would just, up the dosage. So you kind of just go up and up and up.
Based on your pain.
Based on the amount of seizures that you're having. Unless, maybe we can bring it down if you have less seizures. So that was a big reality check, and I was very upset. But then, now that is one moment where I did take a victory. I did say, hey, well, I'm not off of all these medicines, but I did come off of some. I don't have high blood pressure anymore. So some things have changed. I don't have the joint pain, because I'm not carrying around almost 400 pounds anymore. So there's things some of the pain medicine I'm not on anymore, because I don't have the pain bearing down on my bones and my joints. The swelling, some of the fluid and stuff that I don't have that problem as much anymore. So on the medical end, but then I did experience sometimes where I felt so high, like I felt like I had too much medicine. And I'm just like, is it because I'm 137 pounds lighter, or it's just the way it's supposed to have made me feel from the beginning? I just didn't experience it because I had so much weight on me. That's basically what they said. So I'm just like, okay, so now we got to fix it because I can't walk around like a zombie all day because, you know, they're strong medicines and I mean, it makes you high. So, you know, it's a give and take, but I know and I'm believing in myself that eventually, before this is all over with, it'll get there. You know, it'll get there. Maybe just with good health. Maybe just because I'm getting my health better, that everything else will just fall into place. I'm faithful of that. I haven't got there quite yet, but I am faithful and I have seen improvements.
So I asked Nasia, are you ready? Like, are you mentally ready? She said, yes, I'm ready. What do you mean? Like, I'm ready. I've been ready. Like, I want this surgery. Like, I want this surgery. I said, all right, if you ready, you ready.
So what was your self-talk like when you woke up and felt like, what the hell have I done to myself? Like what, or maybe you didn't think that, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Oh no, I did. You know, like I was saying, how I came home and I was so hungry, that was when I was like, what the heck have I done to myself? Like, I was not prepared. And people kept asking me like, are you ready? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready. You know, we talked before, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. I was not ready. I was not ready at all. I was ready as far as wanting my life to change, but I was not ready mentally for the aftermath. You know, I had already been changing, of course, my eating habits and stuff because that was a requirement. But as far as, you know, you can't eat it because you just cannot. You know, so breads, I still to this day, you know, if I have a bite or two of bread, like that's it. Yeah, so I can't, you know, it's just like, do you want to?
Because I recall before you spoke of emotionally eating.
Oh yeah.
So that changes the game.
Oh, completely. Because even if I want to, and I had some moments where, you know, I'm just like, well, I'm going to eat a piece of banana pudding or a chocolate cake, just a little bit, you know.
Going through all the holidays.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You know, right after that was Thanksgiving, I couldn't eat anything. So, you know, it was a big difference. But, you know, even now, if I have some high sugar things, I will be on the floor, like terribly sick. Like, you know, it would ruin, so it's not worth it. So, you know, my relationship with food has changed like completely. Basically, I'm eating to live and not living to eat. And it's so,
congratulations.
Yeah.
That has to make you mentally and emotionally stronger than you realize you can be.
You're actually right, and yeah.
And nobody, you know, those are those little whispers in your head that. So, what's next? You said it's 70 pounds more?
Yes, 70. I'd love to just be about 70 pounds lighter, or if I cannot, which I'm not even gonna say I cannot, but 70 pounds or a size 9 or 10 would be great.
So that woman 70 pounds lighter, from what I hear you say, it's more discipline.
Oh, absolutely.
More chest clarity. What else?
I mean, I can.
So discipline, clarity. What else does she have? She has.
Well, I'm telling you, this is something that, I mean, I can sit in a meeting. I used to have consultations, like, you know, with styling consultations for fashion, and I used to be a little self-conscious in those meetings because, you know, my client would be a size 6, and here I am a size 28. She's crossing her legs and I couldn't cross mine, but you know what, Mike Rouse, I can cross them now. And so I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna sit in that meeting and I'm gonna have a chain and it's gonna be the Hanger ink, and I'm gonna, I mean, you know, I can see myself doing a lot of things, and I can sit in those meetings with all those head honchos, you know, for all those other companies and designers and stuff, and, you know, I can just feel like, because it was always in me, I just felt different. I really don't know how I feel. I've never
since the surgery and all the weight loss, I have never just looked at any of my old clothes or anything like that, and it's just very emotional. I can't believe that I really was this large. And, honestly, I mean, this is almost like as big as an elephant. I guess the scenario, the comparison was similar. This is, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just glad that this is not me anymore. This is not my life. And I promise, as long as I have breath in my body, I will not ever get back this large again. It's a little embarrassing. It's very emotional. Very, very emotional.
Next time on the final chapter of Traces of My Lipstick.
And I feel like when you were bigger, you felt like you had to even go harder. But now I feel like, no, don't cry. No, don't, Nasia.
I did. I feel like that because it was a stigma. It always is with bigger people. They think you're lazy. They think that you can't get shit done,
A big lady, two big ladies, and a big guy that was being wheeled in by their family. And I'm thinking, like, why did somebody let it get that bad for them? Like, why didn't the doctor do something sooner? And that's where I'm like, I don't want to get there. I don't want to get to where I'm on blood pressure pills, I'm on insulin or something like that. And then y'all say, okay, yeah, you need the surgery. Those people are the ones that most likely die on the table.